Okay, it is 7:02 and I'm going to call to order the Education Commission meeting here for October 23rd, 2025. Going to start with roll call.
Stephanie,
Here.
Shaheen, here. Kayla, Lindsay,
Present.
Jeannie, Aaron,
Present.
Jeff,
Present.
Pooja, Ann, Kyle,
Here.
and Tara. You have a quorum and you're good to go.
Okay, so we are going to start here with item number 3, public comment. Did we have anything?
Unless Frida has something to say or Jeff's daughter has something to say, we do not. I have received no emails up until this point.
Okay, then we will move on to approve the minutes for the meeting on September 25th, 2025. Did everybody get to look at that? Does anybody have anything that they disagree?
I move to approve the minutes from September
I s-
2025.
My second.
Okay, the minutes are approved.
Wait, you have to still call the vote.
Oh, sorry. Okay, well, there's 2 out of 5. Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Now they're in. And let's see. So number 5, discussion, e-bike safety and school campus security. I believe we decided that we were going to table that until next month, so that we have more people here for the discussion for when we have the Officer Filippini. Hopefully that's how you say it, will join us at the next meeting. He was going to come tonight, but we had so many people that were not going to be here. We decided to have him come next month instead.
And just a question, the nature of the discussion next month then will be like a presentation from him and then us on like what our next steps will be following the sort of like drafting of the email and the notice to the schools. Is that the intent of the topic?
Well, it was 2 things. It was the flyer
Mhm.
that Aaron made, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. And also school campus security, what that Kayla had brought up
Oh, okay.
to see, where we're at.
Oh,
And any
okay.
other things that we can, information we can get from him.
Thank you.
Is there, the letter surfaced with PHPD already, right? Like they saw it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chief Vermillion has said that you are good to go. So I don't think you need to wait till next month to send that out.
Okay.
And I don't, to your question, I don't think Officer Filippini was going to give a presentation per se. I think he's going to give you the overview of what PHPD has been doing from an outreach and informational perspective in regards to e-bike safety. And then you all can ask questions. You can brainstorm with him on how to get that information out to the schools. And then similarly, he will talk about, safety on campuses. And I know that Commissioner Desaulniers had been asking about it last month. So that's why they were added to the agenda. And that was the other reason why it was decided to hold off on PHPD coming if, one of the people who had specific questions wasn't even going to be here. So, so that's kind of what the idea is behind that agenda item.
Okay, so unless anybody objects, I'll send that email out to the principals tomorrow or something. And if I can find that social media post, I'll include it because I think that's a great little addendum that there were some citations and impounding and such.
Are you sending it directly to the principals or are you sending it through us to send to the principals?
I was gonna send it directly to them. Just say, City of Pleasant Hill, subject, City of Pleasant Hill e-bike safety, email or something, and then just, hey, this, commission got together, we wrote this letter, I'd like to send it to you.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Can I add one item? I know we're moving the kind of discussion with them, but I can bring to the table what I did talk to somebody from MDUSD. Do you want us to have that? You want me to save that for next week or give a quick overview?
If you have a quick overview, but likely it would also then be next month also, just so whoever isn't here.
Okay. I'll give the quick overview is MDUSD is not the police. And so therefore they are deferring to the police and the laws. They are not planning on putting forth any kind of e-bike or bike specific measure, rule, regulations for MDUSD. They abide by the law and they are not also law enforcement. So it's not up to the principals to enforce the law. That's the very basic of what I heard.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Before you move on, if I can just for housekeeping, because you did discuss the issue, it isn't tabled. So what I'll just do when Stephanie and I make the agenda for next month, we'll add this agenda item back in.
Got it.
But yeah, you can't have it both ways. You can't table it and discuss it. Because if you were to make a decision while, after saying you're going to table it, then the people who weren't here could say, well, wait a second, you said you were tabling it. I wasn't here to participate in the discussion. So
Got it.
Okay,
Thank you for explaining that.
yeah. Okay.
not trying
to be
nitpicky.
No, no,
All
no,
good.
that's how we learn. And so since it will be again, and we already did discuss it, is there any other discussion that anybody has so that we can remember it for next time?
So I did also reach out to Sue, as part of the Pillar 3, I had reached out to Sue, the mayor, to ask about that subcommittee that I was talking about. It's the Education Task Force. I remember, Sue reminded me that it was task force. And I did mention to her that we were hoping to get some kind of a meeting with MDUSD, police, and maybe the Education Task Force. They're a little bit more of a bodies with momentum or things that can happen. And she had mentioned that it was on her mind, but I haven't gotten feedback more from that, but there may be more information that happens that you may become privy to that can add to this discussion next time.
Okay. Okay, now we're ready to move on. And also, okay, so we're going on to discussion member school assignments. I don't know that we have.
Well, I think that there was a desire to do some movement. So I know Kayla wanted to move to Strandwood. Shaheen wants
That's
to
correct.
move to PHMS, and therefore that moves me to Fair Oaks.
And we do know that Kayla wants that because she said that last time.
Yes, she has
And
confirmed
the
that.
other two people
Yes.
here are in the room, so I think we can go ahead and finish that matter. So that would be, just so we have this down. So Lindsay is going to Fair Oaks. Shaheen is going to
PHMS.
PHS. And that would have Kayla at Strandwood.
And once it's official, then I feel like we can reach out. I did a little bit of reaching out ahead of time.
Oh, so we can, right, we can. vote on the other
I motion to change our school assignments as chairperson Stephanie
people?
noted.
Just voted.
I second.
Okay. So we're good.
Gotta call the votes. Call for votes.
Oh, the vote. Everybody has to vote now. Everybody in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And the opposed. All right. There we have it. Right, so moving on to number 7, discussion, Education Commission calendar of activities. So this was something that we had been talking about back in the spring. And then I thought that there was going to be a vote. I wasn't here in June, but I remember that that's when we thought it was going to happen. I didn't know it hadn't happened. And so now we're trying to get back to that list to discuss. And at this point, really for next year, for starting in January, I'm not sure besides Light Up the Night, what else, and that is also on the agenda. But the list, I don't have a copy of the list. But I remember that one was made. Does anybody have?
I believe pillar 1 was going to come up with the list, engage of where we wanted to engage in with the community.
Remember, I remember seeing a list and I remember somebody made it, but I just don't remember who. You
I
remember?
think there was a list, but we did not have it. Like it was.
Maybe that's what it
I
was.
have an older list.
Okay.
I can hand this to you. if you-
Well,
Give it to the bailiff.
I think. Right. And I, and again, we had discussion about this. So my thought is that we could, if anybody has any in particular that they're thinking, but that likely we're hoping to get a bigger group for November, to have a better discussion at that time and either be able to vote that day or to discuss and plan to vote for December so we can make our calendar for the new calendar year in January. So if anybody has anything that they know of right now that they want to make sure that gets on the list, or do we want to add this just onto the agenda for next month?
I might suggest maybe if we could so we did this once when I first joined the commission, where we posted a shared Google Doc of some kind and we could just all contribute events. Because when not everyone's here and I probably need to think about it. I'm sure everybody might need to think of like events or things we want to do and then contribute to a list. And then at the next meeting, we could vote on it. Yeah.
At least it's a source, like what events we should do. That sounds,
Jen, what Shaheen just gave, I think is what Jen Moore had put together when she was a commissioner, which is like a list of a bunch of different ideas. So we've had, it doesn't mean that we have to do them all. It was a ton, if I remember right.
Right. Well, so on this list, and actually we can kind of pass it around, like, I know like, so Shaheen had written in Juneteenth, right, onto this older list, but we have like National Night Out, we have firecracker for 5K. But just where, we want to concentrate our efforts so that we can, and people have different passions, right? Like some people want to concentrate on certain ones and some people.
Yeah,
I mean, some dates have changed. Tinkers and Thinkers is in the spring now and not in the fall, but Community Service Day. But this is definitely something we can do the, Google Doc, also.
if this is a good list, then I guess maybe just to Aaron's point, can we get access and then contribute?
Yeah. Do you think Jen would send this to us?
Remember where we got that?
It's just in your folder.
Found it in
Yeah.
a stack of papers.
Some of these I don't remember. I don't remember the luau.
Like some of these, I don't think we've had on the list since I've been with the commission, because I don't remember the luau either.
Yeah.
And there's a couple other that I saw in there. And I was like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I swear there was another list.
Yeah, because I thought we had updated it already in the spring and it did look like that. But like I said, I don't remember some of those. But I mean, besides just the little, the glance at the list, things that you know of, just, from, being here. in Pleasant Hill, and then maybe we can start the Google Doc and or just, everyone can bring that, to the next meeting. Anything else? So we will put this back on the agenda for next month. Everybody's with that.
I think suggest someone volunteers to get the Google Doc up and running.
I'd be happy to do it.
That'd be awesome.
I'd be happy to
Right.
get that started. I do have a question though. We've talked about next month a couple of times, but our normal meeting day, this will be the first time I've done this in November. So maybe you all know this, but it is Thanksgiving. So,
Right. It's November 20th. So last year we decided to move November and December to the third Thursday.
Oh, okay.
And then we took July off. The year before we had taken like the 2 months off, I think. And so but then we ended up like July, everybody was gone. So we were able to move it to the third Thursday.
Great. We're gonna make those changes now. Thank you.
Okay, so Jeff will do that and we will go on to our pillar updates. So pillar 1, get engaged. Oh, you found it.
Found it. Can I send it to you, Jeff? Okay. It was from Jen Moore and it was in 2024. So I'm just gonna send it right. And it's, look at the tab. Look at the tabs. You'll see it once you get there, but it's multiple tabs. Sorry.
Okay, so would anybody like to share out from pillar 1?
All right, well, we got to meet in Pillar 1 over Zoom. And it was wonderful to see everyone. So we were talking about lighting up the night, which is coming up on the 22nd. So 2 days after our next Ed Commission meeting. And so we were talking about maybe doing something a little more engaging. Is this a super hot mic? Am I kind of blowing you out? Okay, sorry about that. All right, so we were talking about at the booth trying to do something a little more engaging, maybe doing something that kind of incorporated some kind of like art thing with the children. And so it was brought up, some of the options could be something like making snowflakes, like cutting snowflakes or something like that. And then possibly like with doing the snowflakes, we could even have colors for the school colors that students could first color it and then have like a template to cut to make something like that for themselves. Also maybe doing like simple Christmas ornaments that students could take with them. Again, if we figured out some way that they could color it to go along with school colors, that would be cool. And then we were also doing like a shout out to leaders in the community kind of thing, which we could also incorporate into like, hey, who's your favorite teacher? And maybe some way to kind of like shout them out in the same way that we had the different kind of display art that we had done in the past for like Juneteenth or something like that. Maybe these are leaders in the community or puzzle pieces in the community that really knit us together or really hold us together kind of idea.
And I think the only thing to add to that is that something a little bit more hands-on and creative for kids that are attending, as opposed to something that's like more passive, where it's like a photo booth or something where you take a picture and then you walk away, where we can get a little bit more engagement and family activity, which I think was really successful at Juneteenth. We had a lot of people who were, lingering in the very windy, I'm still cold. We were joking about that. I'm still in the field, and then, holding everything down. Hopefully not a windy night, but I think just having people and kids, drawing and creating and doing things and having something to take away this time would be really great. I think it was brought up that there may be another group who does ornaments, and that's not really a bad thing because, you can have some friendly competition. But it is really kind of a cool thing to have families and kids to be able to do that.
I have an idea. along those lines, what if you did something that they could give to their teacher? A kid could give to their teacher something about like, you light up our world, you light up something, but that way they get to take
That
something home.
combines everything.
And that gives to a teacher, and I know that that's like, teachers like homemade things that they can, recycle later on, and they, but
And
it also
cash.
gives them something, well, yes, but it also gives them something to do that's homemade, so that may be a shout out to our educators.
I
So,
love
hey,
it.
make an educator or a teacher in your life, and it could be a light, it could be a snowflake, it could be whatever,
I like
but
that. And then that actually is great because then we can have some sort of clean template that they can draw on. And I think, I
and
love it.
there's nothing for us to do. They get to take it home and give it to their
Yeah,
teacher or
and then we
not,
don't have
but
to take it with us and store it.
we have nothing.
I just was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have all of those art supplies.
Mhm. And I have a bunch. I can bring you the big box of
Yeah,
stuff.
we have the stuff. I think that's great.
Yeah.
That,
Okay, so to move forward with that, we probably need a template of You Light Up Our World that we could bring on the 20th.
yeah, I think so. Also, Lindsay has now joined Pillar One.
Oh, I haven't. As you were talking, I just
let-
had this idea
Let the minutes.
illuminating. It was illuminating.
Illuminating and also let the minutes show. Recognize. No, I think it's awesome. That would be great. I mean, and I think that's also something that students of all ages can do from very young to all the way. Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I love it. And maybe what we can do with the template too is have a space on the back where older students can write a message or a note, instead of just, having the drawing on the front and then.
Not many older kids come to this, just so you know.
What?
Not many older kids
Well,
come to this. Some do,
Children of all ages from
yes, but I like the creativity.
3 to 300, you never know.
Don't overthink it. 'cause
I'm-
you have too many high schoolers
Yeah.
there.
Well, I was thinking more like 8, 10-year-olds could write a little note,
That's sweet.
while writing still exists, while it's
Yeah,
still
exactly.
legal and permitted to, while it's still allowed to write, but we're still allowed to communicate in that method. So.
Great. How about pillar 2?
Yeah, we failed to meet again, I think. Yeah, I don't know why it's so hard. It's just like all of a sudden it's the next meeting. It's just, the bandwidth issues. But anyway, we continue to run our bots that send emails to Jeff. I've been preparing to send out the email to all the principals. So I have that Gmail account that I created called phevents@gmail.com, something like that. And the other thing I did was update the list of principals and their contact information. So I have that if anybody wants it, happy to share it out. There were a few changes this year from last year. So got that sorted out, and I was going to send out an email to all of them and just say, again, hey, this is, if you want the community to know about an event, please email it to this email, and the bots will just suck it up and put it into the consolidated report that goes to Jeff, that then goes into the biweekly news thing. And I think that's really all. I don't know if you did need some solo work or anything on
No,
pillar 2.
I
Okay.
don't have anything to add that we haven't talked about when we worked on the flyer, and that's about it.
That's right. That was the other thing, the flyer. Yes, that's true. We did do that. We did do
We
stuff.
met virtually.
We met virtually and
There you
we
go.
collaborated on the flyer and
right.
got it done. I forgot that happened too.
There
Yes.
was ample Google Doc usage.
There was a lot of Google
It was
Doc.
amazing. Fantastic. So good
High
time.
five.
Good times were had by all.
Celebrate, celebrate.
Right there. I'm going to underline it. Right there.
I mean, and very enthusiastic. Okay, well, the lone member that is here today from pillar 3.
We have been rocking and rolling, so we met and we kind of figured things out. Tara was connecting with PHPD, so I'm not exactly sure where that landed, but I was able to collaborate with a couple people. I reached out to Sue, a group about the education task force, so to come to fruition. I did also talk to someone from MDUSD who's asked if we can collaborate with them on this documentary called Counted Out. I think it's all about math. No, math,
Oh.
maths. But so, and I said I would bring it to the commission. So what they would want us to do is they have gotten funding from the county, whatever, to screen this film, like to do a screening for parents. This is exactly up Education Commission. Oh, nice. Well, Kyle could be the guest of honor. So what so they would plan the event. We need to give them dates that would work. Sorry, we can talk about dates. And then I have a couple of dates. They want us to pick they want us to be the first one to pick one of these dates, and then they're gonna do it at 2 other schools. So at like Northgate and like Concord High, something around there. And they thought the centrally located one could be at Pleasant Hill Library. Patrick has already said yes, so that's great. What we would do as an education commission is help promote it. So we would encourage parents, teachers, principals to go to that event. And it sounds so super up our alley of like exactly what we want to do is connecting parents about curriculum-y type things.
So we get an opportunity to screen it before we promote it?
I would highly recommend that.
Oh, I don't know. That sounds like something we might want to do.
Has the district screened it before?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait,
Um,
they're making a documentary or they've
No.
already made it?
Made. It's
Okay.
by a filmmaker named Vicky Abelius.
Got it. So hold on.
Is there a certain age group, do we know, that this is geared towards?
Hold on. I don't know, but it's geared towards parents. So it would really affect everyone. So even
Okay.
from coming into school, to me, it reminds me of how I know Education Commission, this was quite a while ago, hosted some forums when they moved to, what's it called? Common Core that was a sort of same thing, and this Counted Out is a bit similar. I believe you can see the documentary, so we may want to screen it, but they have looked at they have dates that they're wanting to have it, they have dates. Yes, they have screened it. Yes, they are promoting it through the district. Whether or not we help with it, it would just be an opportunity for us to collaborate with the district.
Yeah.
You have anything you'd like to say about the Counted Out?
I haven't watched the film.
Oh, okay,
I just know the director very well.
got it.
And I know her previous work.
Hmm. I mean, it would be hard to, I mean, you could promote something, but then like if you don't really know much about it, except for this about, I mean, I'm just thinking for myself, I'm like, well, I don't know that if I about watching necessarily the whole thing, but maybe getting a little bit more like background, because people are gonna ask questions like, I don't want to just be like, it's about math.
I sent it to you.
Okay,
So we can send it out. There's at least a trailer.
oh, that's good. But
The film, don't think is available for us to screen online because they're. The film's not available for us to screen online because she's moving it through festivals right now, it looks like.
Yeah, so I think you
yeah.
can see the trailer. I think that they've gotten some view of it. The district has approved this and is moving through. So I don't know that we have to
She's local, so.
screen it and approve it. That's
And
great.
and did you say that they're looking for a site to do it or that's sorted out?
That's sorted out. They have
Okay.
Pleasant Hill Library sorted out. It's
Okay.
really, is there a date that works for us to be able to promote it? We get the first pick of the date if we want to promote this, and then we would just help promote it through the schools, like through our connection with the schools to try to get it out to parents. We
Oh,
could
I see.
potentially
Okay.
put it on social media. And of course, they would want us to come to the Pleasant Hill screening as a show of support. So it would be a chance for us to
Sorry,
Collaborate.
so the date, they want us to pick a date for it to be screened at Pleasant Hill Library?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
So they have 3 dates, January 28th, February 18th, and March 4th are
Okay.
the dates that they're looking at. So that they want to host it 3 times. One's going to be at a Concord location, one's going to be at a Walnut Creek location, and then the Pleasant Hill one would be probably at the library.
So we get to pick the Pleasant Hill date is what there is.
Basically,
what
if
we're
we
saying.
want to
Okay,
promote this, we could pick the Pleasant Hill
got it.
date and help that. If we decided we did not want to do this, then they will do it on their own without the Education Commission.
Do you mind repeating those possible dates?
Sure, January 28th, February 18th, and March 4th.
For those weekends.
No.
Okay.
January 28th is, I think they're all Wednesdays because Wednesdays are the days they don't have board meetings. And there was some other reason. I think that was the main reason, that was their main driver
Okay.
for that. January 28th, February 18th, and March 4th. And if maybe Jeff or Stephanie can send, Jeff would have to send it, I guess, was the information from the district with the kind of trailer information too.
Well, I mean, I guess it really, how everybody feels. Do you want to like go home and watch the trailer? Do you want to just decide we can put this for, next month to do a final decision if people need a little bit more time?
Maybe the trailer is enough, but endorsing something without seeing the whole product seems a little risky to me, but.
But maybe we're not endorsing it. Maybe we're just sharing with our specific schools, even though it's.
All right.
Yeah,
Right,
I think we're not sponsoring the film,
Mhm.
so that's different.
And
Uh,
that's what I was thinking, but I mean, in the end, the district has already approved it, so it's really just doing the information and being there to support. And I guess that would be the people's decision based on how they,
Yeah, as long as we're not being asked to co-sponsor the film, and I'm fine with it if we are not seeing it. I definitely am going to watch the trailer. I have a lot of context and understand from her other films and her other work. So I'm definitely very curious about this film, knowing her other work. So, and then her as a person. So, but I definitely think we should check it out and we should share it since the district is sponsoring it and sharing it. I think it's really appropriate for us to share it with our partner schools and the schools that we work with. So it appears to be very much targeting probably not just parents, but probably parents of maybe older children, it looks like. So
Like high school age.
like middle school and high school
Oh.
would be my guess, but I haven't watched the trailer.
I'm totally fine with whatever. I will say Patrick said, the documentary looks amazing. The trailer gave me chills. That's what Patrick said.
Well,
That's
I'm
definitely
sold.
her.
So.
Yeah.
I have not looked at the trailer yet.
and when, did they want an answer fairly soon, or is it gonna be, are we gonna end up with like last choice if we wait until now?
I think, well, if we decide to table it, they probably will just pick us a date. If we want to have influenced the date, we would be able to do it. I don't know that it matters. They're all Wednesdays.
One of the
Right.
Wednesdays is the first day of Ramadan. I would probably encourage the district not to have that be
Oh.
the first day. And that would be the date in February, I believe.
February 8th.
Hmm.
What if we just didn't pick that one?
I was gonna say, just you could tell them what date not to do
Yeah.
it.
Okay, so then everybody wants to look at the trailer and we'll talk about it next month with everybody else.
You'll send it out, or Jeff will send it out. Jeff, you'll send the trailer out?
Yes.
Okay, so anything else, pillar 3?
Yes, sorry. We also met with the member of the Diversity Commission who we had been collaborating with on the racial bullying event. And Frida was also involved in that as well. And we have started, so we had put together an idea for a racial bullying event that the Diversity Commission was spearheading. And it got brought to the city council and they denied funding for it. So we kind of lost some wind and we kind of came back, and what we started to talk about is a new, kind of like a new proposal, a slightly different type of event. So I wanted to bring it to the Education Commission to see if we would want to spearhead something. And we have like a rough outline of things, and we could put together either pillar 3 or any of the pillars could kind of take over and work through this, however, or a separate subcommittee could take it and run through it.
Is this the subcommittee that I was on that stopped meeting? That was, okay.
Yep. So Sandra and I met to just brainstorm a new idea to come back and reinvigorate a subcommittee. So hold on, let me look at my notes real quick.
Is there a reason why city council denied the funding?
They didn't have it available.
Okay, so it's just a money thing. It wasn't like we don't want to support this kind of thing. You don't know.
Was was there feedback even given? I don't remember feedback being given on that.
No
Okay.
feedback,
Okay.
no.
You said-
No
Got it,
funding,
okay.
yeah. Okay, so then what we're thinking is, we kind of tentatively came up with the title. We liked the idea of community conversations, and we had been engaged in community conversations at the library and different things, so kind of continuing that. And this would be called Getting to Know Our Neighbors. And it again is in the element of getting to know each other. So it is in the spirit of racial bullying and getting to know people and building relationships within communities. And that's how we can help reduce bullying. So we were talking about connecting with our neighbors through conversation, food, music, and more. We were thinking 3 presenters, it would almost be like a panel. So 3 presenters per event, who kind of came up with some criteria. They lived or worked in Pleasant Hill for over 5 years, and they were not in a position of power. So not employed by the city, the police, or a school district leadership, like principal or above, just a neighbor, a common neighbor without a whole lot of necessarily given power. And then we would pick areas of the world, and each presentation would have, we kind of divided the world into 4 sections, but each presentation would have one person from a different area. And we would eventually, if this would continue, we would have at least 4, start with 4, 2 per year. So it'd be a 2-year kind of thing. And we would have, 3 people, let's say in March, and then 3 people in September, then 3 different people in, does that make sense? We'd have like little groups, like panel groups we'd be called Getting to Know Your Neighbors. And what we would do is we would have food and conversation. It would be a facilitated panel. And then we would try to work on some funding, a small amount of funding, a smaller amount of funding to bring people together around food, because food is a great connector. So just snack, like some kind of finger food, not dinner, but just kind of some snacks that the people from the panel would help to decide as a way to connect our neighbors with that. So the panel facilitators could be anybody from the subcommittee, Sandra, myself, we've all kind of talked, like we'd be willing to do it. We would have a list of questions. We would give it to the presenters ahead of time so they could prepare, but it would be things like, what makes your, culture special? What do you love about how you celebrate a holiday? What is important? Is there an important, cultural theme or whatever? Just kind of getting to know folks and bringing people together. We talked about having it hosted at different schools in our town. So maybe one would be hosted at the middle school, the next one would be hosted at a high school, then maybe one would be at the library, and then one at the elementary, and if it kept going, we would just kind of keep moving around so that we would get that, kind of keep the rotation going of where it was supported. And we would just need to, if we wanted to lead it, we would put a subcommittee together, and then we would need to get it approved by the city council with hopefully we would do some kind of a small budget just for food, but we wouldn't pay for a facilitator like what we were asking before, some food and some facilitation. So that's kind of our new reimagined thought to come back to the Education Commission. And so I wanted to present the idea.
Thoughts?
Would it be during the day, during an evening, on the weekend?
I think we had thought, we hadn't gotten that far yet, but I think it would probably be early evening. Like probably mimicking something like it could potentially be a family event at the library who has it on Tuesday nights, right? So kind of mimicking that maybe. If it wasn't at the library, then maybe we wouldn't pick Tuesday, so we didn't compete. But those details haven't been ironed out.
Okay. Yeah, I was just asking, like, obviously you can't do it at school during the day. And the weekend would probably be tough, but I think evenings at a school, I mean, we do our meetings there all the time, so I'm sure that would be fine.
And so, okay, there was a subcommittee already, so are we thinking about doing those same people again, or just kind of starting from the beginning, or seeing who still has, interest? Because I know recently we talked about like, what happens to all those Post-its out, yeah.
Wow.
We just whoop, pull them out. I mean, I think it's worth exploring, and I think that, like I said, the people who were doing it, I was on the subcommittee before. I know we talked about Kyle and I talked about, this just all of a sudden kind of went away. And does the Diversity Commission have people who are wanting to do this together, or?
Yeah, so they brought, their meeting happened to be earlier this week, so Sandra brought it to them. And I believe they have they have 3 people that are potentially on that subcommittee willing to come to the table to help.
Do we have anybody here on the Education Commission?
I definitely am interested in continuing to participate. Definitely want to see this through. I think it's a really good idea. I like the idea of it being so community centered and kind of moving between different places. And I also like the sort of family notion of it too. And I'm guessing then the sort of reform subcommittee would refine the idea in terms of defining. Yeah, okay. I like it. I think it's great. Good job.
Thanks to Sandra. She really was like, what do you think about this? I'm like, yeah, I think this could go somewhere. I'm interested in being on the subcommittee, but I don't have to be on the subcommittee. And I'm pretty sure, I don't want to volunteer Jeannie, but I'm pretty sure Jeannie would want to be involved. So I wouldn't put her on that, but should absolutely engage her and invite her. And we would need it has to be a small-ish subcommittee.
Right.
So.
What? Because I think that was the 4 of us that were on before, right?
I was previously on it as well, but I'm okay stepping back from that. That's totally fine.
Cool. If anybody, yeah, I mean, I'm happy to step back too.
Right. 'Cause I mean, it also, I mean, like I said, I would continue, but we'll see how many people
Okay.
we get.
So what I think, do we need a vote to move forward with this?
Our new subcommittee.
It depends on what you're planning to do. If you're going to make a subcommittee, then yes, you need to have a motion to create a subcommittee. If you're going to be doing anything organizational that will require outside meetings that you then bring back to the commission, then yes. And is this subcommittee going to also have people from the Diversity Commission on it?
Mhm.
So diversity would also have to, approve
I believe diversity did.
okay.
Right, diversity approved their subcommittee, so can I make a motion?
Yeah.
I make a motion to create a subcommittee to continue flushing out the idea of a community conversation event in collaboration with the Diversity Commission to connect the community as part of pillar 3.
Second.
Are you going to be naming the people on the subcommittee in your motion, or
I'm not naming the people in my subcommittee. Do you need me to name the people in our subcommittee?
Just name them.
Okay.
Well,
I'm naming-
if you're planning to meet before the next meeting,
Then we should. I'm going to
Yes.
name Kyle, Stephanie, me, and Jeannie in absentia. She's going to be voted on or voted off at the next meeting if we need to make a change, to be a part of the subcommittee. Sorry, that's the motion.
And who was the second? I'm sorry.
A second.
I'm the second.
Oh.
He's the second.
Oh,
I'll be third.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, there is our subcommittee.
So I'll work with Sandra to get a meeting set. We were thinking this wouldn't happen until March, April, May, something like this. We would have some time. We just needed to kind of get the going. So we would probably meet next time, maybe before, maybe after, depending on holidays and stuff. And then we would want to figure out how to propose it to the city council for approval. So that will be, once we have the idea a little bit more buttoned up, then we would bring it here and then bring it to city council before we moved anywhere. Okay, cool. I'll work on that.
Okay,
I think that's it. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I have one more. I went to the Civic Action Commission meeting and they are interested in having students, our school community, participate as part of their summer concert series. So we didn't get approval or anything, but they are like, yeah, that sounds interesting. We got some restrictions and limitations of what we can do, like they can't use the sound systems, but they could be there. So they're gonna give us once they decide the dates, then they would give us the dates and then we would try to connect, maybe not all of them, but maybe we would be like, oh, this one in May, we think we could connect with. So once they have the dates decided, they'll come back to us. But if you work with a school that has a music program or whatever, then you may want to mention that this is a possibility and something that we've been working on for a while to try to make this happen, but they were pretty enthusiastic about it. So that's super exciting. So there's nothing, we're in a kind of a stuck period. They're doing their deciding on, you guys are deciding your acts and deciding your schedule and all of that stuff, right?
Well, the application period is going on right now. It goes until November 15th, and then the music selection subcommittee will meet sometime in late November and decide on the slate. The dates for the 2026 season are already decided because it's always the same thing year after year. It's the Sunday of Memorial Day to the Sunday of Labor Day. So this year, I believe it's May 25th through August 31st.
But it's not every
Or
Sunday.
August 30th, every other Sunday. So there are eight performances.
Oh, okay. And it just starts on the Memorial Day. Oh, okay. I guess.
The Sunday before Memorial Day.
The Sunday before. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. So we have the dates. My thought was now that we made the connection as pillar 3, we might toss this over to another pillar to then engage or communicate, but I wasn't sure.
well, I think sharing it with our groups, some schools have, the middle schools and high schools, obviously a little bit more with choir and band and stuff, but I mean, everybody should know that it's a possibility.
For those, for those Sunday performance series, is it like usually an individual artist that performs, or like, is it like a string of artists in one evening is kind of like what I'm asking?
It's one group per evening, which is why what Lindsay was saying about not being able to use the sound system, the stage is set by 5 o'clock because the band has to do a sound check. And so the sound levels are all set, which is why there would not be, there's not enough time to have, one band get up there and have all their stuff set up and perform, and then take everything down, put the headliner on there and run through their sound check. Because the sound check will take anywhere from 15 minutes to half an hour. And so it has to be, there's what you would most likely end up doing if you're able to work it out would be to maybe have them set up at the gazebo or over on the concrete pad by where the food trucks are.
So perform at the event, but not on the stage.
Right.
Yes.
And do we, this could be ahead, but are we thinking of a specific time frame or something like that? Or that's just something to be discussed later?
Well, I think if the concerts start at 7,
6.
but the concerts start at 6, so then it would be something like 5:30. They could perform for 15 or 20,
Yeah, it's like a opening act type thing, but
It's like 5 to 5:30 kind of thing, or?
5 to 5:30, 5:30 to 6.
It would more likely be 5:30 to close to 6 because
Okay.
the sound check usually goes from 5 to 5:30.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's a great, okay, that
Yeah.
totally answers that
And
question.
that, and again, that would be something that once you've got some interest, it would need to go back to the CAC for discussion. Because I mean, it was all conceptual when,
Yep.
Cool, thank you.
Many of the dates are in the summer. And so I was trying to look at the ones that were May 24th is right near the end of school and it's the weekend of Memorial Day. So that may be hard. June 7th is after school is out. So we may be looking at August, but then that's when school starts back. So this may be a better idea than it is that comes to reality, but we figured we would at least try it. And it doesn't necessarily to me, it doesn't necessarily have to be through a school, though that makes sense, but it could be like a group of school community kids that do this kind of thing. But again, we have to try it out and test it out. So put your feelers out there to see if anybody would be interested in a 30-minute time slot on one of those Sundays. And we can see if we can make the connections happen as a tester.
Okay, sounds
That's it.
good.
Sorry, and that's it for pillar 3.
So, item 9 was actually our discussion on participating in Light Up the Night, which we've had a little bit of, but do we have volunteers to work at Light Up the Night? And fortunately, it is.
November 22nd,
Yeah, the 22nd.
November 22nd?
Saturday,
So,
November 22nd.
So 4:30 to 7:30 is when it runs.
I know usually there's like 2 shifts, set up, clean up. I don't know if that's yeah.
So 2 shifts, like 2-hour shifts, like 4 to 6 and 6 to 8. Like
That's usually, I want to say that's usually, if not, I think it's available earlier, but I don't think we usually have to get there that early.
Well, for setup, you should be there probably by 3:30.
by 3:30.
The road will close around 1:30. So if you're, bringing a lot of material, you'll either need to get there before the road closes to drop your stuff off or park somewhere in the theater parking lot close enough where you can, not have to carry your things super far.
Right.
But yeah, we generally ask the booths to be set up by 4 because we'll start seeing people around 4. Last year, Crescent was already full at 4:10 because people are coming to see their kids perform on the main stage and stuff like that.
So do we have anybody here today that wants to work? or
Yeah, I'm
be
happy
part
to.
of it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I believe the night should live. I believe the night should remain in darkness, so I oppose this event. On ethical, moral grounds. I'm gonna be out of town. I'm always, ever since they shifted the event to this point, we go to my husband's parents for pre-Thanksgivings. And my mother-in-law's been in the hospital, and so we definitely are out of town for this. So, which really sucks because I really want to go to this so bad. This is 2 years in a row. So I'm sorry.
Do you think you could send out like later, like a volunteer email sign up like we've done in the past? Because I just need to check before I can commit. Yeah.
It's definitely going to need to go out to the rest of the group anyways, but at least we have an idea that we have a couple people. So we can.
You don't have to commit to anything tonight. You can set up another Google Doc and have people sign up online. It's not something that has to be brought to a committee meeting or commission meeting rather, because it's not a situation where you're deciding policy or enacting anything. You're participating in an event. The main reason this item was on the agenda at all was for the commission to make the decision, yes, we're going to participate. No, we're not going to participate. It's not to lay everything out tonight. You've already got the framework of what you're going to do. And then you just have to, like I say, have people sign up to volunteer.
Well, I definitely think we should participate as a commission.
Yeah.
Okay, so the sign up will go out and we'll move on to reports or announcements. The individual, anything going on at your schools or go around?
I mean, not much to share, but the new principal at Valley View is very responsive. So I was going to meet with her this week, but she had to postpone next week. So we'll connect next week. So it's been good.
Anyone else? No, yeah, I have not either. Trying to get into this new school. Now I know what Tara was talking about. Okay,
Oh, you're Hidden Valley?
yes.
Connect with Bell Law. Sorry, Bell is a city council member and
Mhm.
she has connections at Hidden Valley. So she
Oh.
may be able to help grease some wheels. I don't think anyway, we talked at when we did the presentation. She mentioned she may be able to help with that.
Oh, okay. All right.
Nothing important other than I'm attending the Haunted Trail tomorrow, which I'm very excited about. I'll be in semi-costume, family costumes. My daughter's a witch and I'm her cat.
Nice.
That was not my choice. My husband is her pumpkin. I'm very excited to attend. One thing that's coming up, is I hang with the preschool set. And a lot of them are getting ready for TK as we are, there's lots of concern about, a lot of discussion about how TK works in the district, because it is in our district half-day TK, which is a choice our district has made, and that we do not have on-site care provided, that there's a wait list at most sites for on-site TK, for on-site care. And so there's been lots of discussion at my particular preschool about this. And so I get accosted because now everyone at my preschool knows that I'm on the Education Commission. So that is something that, because there's not any clear communication on the district website about almost anything related to TK. So one of the questions that I would pose if we do have another member of our board come visit us is how we can better communicate that from our school sites, but actually from the district, because it's a major onboarding part of building community at our school sites. So just throwing that out there. I literally was at a Halloween event right before this and got cornered by like 8 parents saying, what gives? So.
That reminds me, I'll announce that I believe school board elections are gonna start, people are starting to figure out who to run, like who's gonna run. So if you're interested or know anyone that's interested, start brushing up on that, but there will be elections. I don't really know when they are, but it's a good time to think about that. And Linda Mayo, who covers most of Pleasant Hill, has been in office since
1996.
1996. So she may or may not be interested in running again, but I think there's always opportunities for new voices at that area. And if we wanted to put something on the Connect pillar at some point to try to bring in the district to talk about that, we might be able to get someone from student services, or we may be able to connect and bring someone in to help us understand here. Just say the words and we can try.
Okay. So if that is it for reports and announcements, nobody has anything else? to add, then number 11, I will adjourn the meeting. Next meeting, November 20th, 2025, and we will adjourn the meeting at 8:02.
Great job.